All right, I'm going to toss a concept on the table. It's not a fun one, it's not an easy one, but I'm going to ask you, can you find peace in the monthly business? Being a monk. What does that mean? Well, it means you're no longer having sex with women. Full stop. You're done. No more PUA games, no more pump and dump, no more swiping, no more chasing. You are no longer chasing, hunting, courting, flirting, cybering, or being attached physically or romantically to a human woman. That is, as far as I know, the definition. When a human has sex, it creates a hunger, a wound, and it is a transformative act at that. Sex begs the question of its own existence and further moments of carnality. Once performed, it is a spiritual wound that can only be healed by further applications of sex. The monk takes the time to heal this wound, to address the wound within himself, to remember who gave him the wound, whom he has wounded, and what it will mean to heal from the wound. See the modern lines about Netflix and chill, and then so-and-so gives you the love. It is a spiritual change, it is an emotional change, it is a cognitive change. When one becomes a monk, one pursues the path of understanding and changing the way that one has been changed. Now, I'm going to date the video a little bit. Now, I saw Sydney MGTOW's video the other day on FemCells. Oh, I said the forbidden keyword. Not in the title. Don't let them catch me. And the math revealed that the girl in the article was feeling a hopelessness, as she would have been 15 and was still a virgin, provided I heard all that right and he did the math right. I'm going to trust him. I'm going to trust my senses. Now, the wound that was given to her is part of the girls that are being given the wound at a younger and younger age. These are women's issues. Bear with me. Before a woman knows herself, she is transformed, and the question of sex is placed on the table for every day of their life thereafter. Before they can drive, before they can drink, before they can vote, before they have a chance to be a person. Woman's issue, but I need to finish the thought. The normalization is that girls are given the wound that never heals before they are people. Now, boys are expected to engage in the act before they are even men or know who they are. A spiritual wound is being used as a coming-of-age trial. One wounds the other. Or his teacher will predate upon the young man and wound him as she herself was wounded. Few will protest this. It will be common. Thus, the only widespread, understood, and accepted act that separates a boy from a man is the act that reminds him one day he will be worm food. But as a Christian, look, you're still worm food. The body is still gone. The soul can live on, that's my belief, but the body is still worm food. You're still discontinuous in that regard. Sex makes babies. Babies are the continuation of names, of lives, but we are discontinuous beings. We do not exist, then we exist, then we do not exist again. Sex is exciting because for a moment you are immortalized. When you forget, you will die. You are transformed. Labels are changed. Lives are changed. And this act has been cheapened to the point of uselessness. That's right. But as an aside, the sexual liberation and free love, that is the death cult narrative. You will live a useless and worthless life, so just enjoy pleasure and abandon the responsibility of the flesh. None of this matters. Women can take the wound as an empowerment, and men can run around and give as many women the wound as needed. So back in the halcyon days of the Tradcogs, one man wounded one woman, and then they tended to the wound they made for the rest of their days, tied together in enforced monogamy. What do we have now? How many blood sacrifices will it take? I don't know. You go monk. You put down the cat of nine lays. You get out of the morning after grip of the Iron Maiden. And you stop chasing the mind-numbing rush of forgetting you will die. Face it, face your fears, face the inner self. Speaking of which, when were you considered a man that was not a moment when you were a tool for someone, or useful to someone, or engaged in the act that cements your understanding that you're dead when this is over? About that one. So, the round and around is not just a carousel, speaking of the wound. Not just because it goes around and around and it doesn't get anywhere. It's because that's a borderline hyperbolic statement that you understand that this ride only ends when you die. When you can no longer be transformed. Look, I'll say it, the wall, the fertility window. Come on, bear with me. It's real. It's there. So the sexual marketplace, the swipe apps, the constant seeking to hook up to rub body parts, that is the nihilistic death cult. And we monks are not an acolyte of this behavior. We are learning to accept that we are discontinuous, that we will end. And we are watching the world erode and spin and head straight into not-so-sweet oblivion. So before someone says, but the men... If sex meant something, if the transformative act was honored, then they would see what they had done. And they will not want to see, because that requires taking responsibility. Insert the clip from Life is Strange here. I believe you've seen it. Do you want purpose, or do you want pleasure of the flesh? I really am equating the two, because you can have purpose and chase it and self-actualize, or you can continue chasing the carousel. You don't have enough time for both. Don't lie to yourself. Do you want the truth, or do you want the sweet lie of another weekend riding on that carousel, trying to gain admittance to some of these rides? Do you want to keep chasing the same zombies and committing spiritual necrophilia, or do you want to ascend of your own path, freedom, and accord? One day you will not be here. Every day that you ride the rides is another day that you're just riding the rides. You're not finding something greater for yourself. Now, I'm not going to tell you you have to do that. If you don't want to do that, turn the video off, walk away. It's okay. But if you want to stay, I'm going to tell you something. The path awaits. I'm sorry to you, son of Adam. You cannot save Eve's daughters. You can save yourself, though. You can build yourself up. You can look upon the serpent's amusement park that is our modernity, and you can give him back his lifetime pass. No more rigged carnival games. No more overpriced food that doesn't mean anything. No more trying to win the giant stuffed animal that's going to cost you more to win than it cost the guy in the booth to get it. If you want the giant stuffed animal, you could just go out and buy it. You could go make the money and you could go buy it. You can make something. You can be something. You can craft your legend. You can be the main character in your own story. Just get out of the damn amusement park. Blessings to you. Always.